Well, if by chance we're lucky and the contact and her parents have leased a car, then they would park it beneath the hotel. The parking lot, we could always, with the van, roll up in there behind them, and basically with the cover of being underground and only the basic cameras, quickly extract the target. Or try.
Unless they have additional security. Sounds like the target might have some sort of resources with their family, living in a corporate ecology. Or ecology, rather. Might have a bodyguard. I'm gonna see if one of my contacts can turn anything up on the target and their family.
Sounds good. I'll leave my drone downstairs, and I'll just keep an eye on it. So if they do have a car, I'll be able to see it pull in. And other than that, let me know if you want me to check out anything specific before going into the place.
So while Twitch is walking around, enjoying cotton candy, buying touristy junk to blend in, that kind of thing, she's going to send a picture of the Johnson to Mr. Monday, the picture of Karina Kohler to Mr. Monday, the name Karina Kohler, and a mention that there is possibly a team of runners called TikTok, and that she'd appreciate pieces being filled in on this. She'll send the DOB of Kohler too.
Okay, for the look at Kohler, give me well, it's going to take a few minutes. It's an extended roll, but I'll just have you roll all the dice at once. Is 36 dice.
God in heaven. That works out to be better than averages. You did better than a third of them, and since you can only get a hit on a third of them, that's not bad.
Well,
We'll see.
It's not too difficult to actually find who her father is, and with those hits, let me go ahead and give you his dossier in just a second.
All right, I get another dossier.
What else were you doing?
A picture of the Johnson, and mentioning that a team called TikTok might be involved.
Okay, then give me just his connection. He knows nothing about TikTok, and looking through what he has in terms of corporate things, he can't find a photo match to the Johnson. That said, he's not exactly one to have a list of every corporate middle manager here in LA.
Of course not. Honestly, getting a dossier on the dad is More than enough. Twitch will thank him for the help.
There is what you have on her father. It's not much. He's a spike baby that worked for Satyr Crump and went missing. And it appears from just looking at records and things, he mentions to you that it appears that it was intentional because he just disappeared. But it doesn't look like he died because there are some vague connections about him still doing stuff.
Alright, well, Twitch will forward that dossier on to everyone else and say, this guy's a mage and he seems to have disappeared for a reason, taking his daughter with him. He might be the riskiest unknown.
On the work for Satyr Crump, and I guess, you know, I know some of it as metagame knowledge. Maybe my character could roll for Satyr Crump using his mega corporate policies knowledge skill, Sean?
What are you looking to know?
I guess just like basic information about Satyr Crump. You know, nothing, you know, amazing, just, you know, what he would know about it. Obviously, you know, I know stuff. I don't know how much he knows compared to how much I know. That's my problem. That's all. I didn't know whether I needed to roll for that or anything, so I just brought it up.
Go ahead and give me a history roll.
The history roll? What's that?
You have one in...
Oh, yes.
Yours.
Yeah, I have history, yeah. I do have history. I do have an academic history thing. I forgot about that. Like, history? Like, what the fuck? I'm like looking through my active skills. History? The hell is history? There we go.
So, you do know the history of Satyr Crump fairly well. It's, you don't know many of the details. You don't know all the nitty-gritty, who did what when. You know it's owned by a dragon wholly. You know the dragon rules it with iron fist. You know that running against some is a terrible idea. You know that running for them is just a very, very bad idea. Beyond that, there's not a lot. They were active in Seattle. You know that they are not doing anything in LA. When stuff went down in LA, they sort of washed their hands of it. But other than that, not a lot of stuff.
Sarah will frown as he's getting his information while taking his hotel tour and say, Satyr Crump, valuable assets don't just walk away, especially not from Lofweir. Stands to reason that he might still be working for Satyr Crump. Either that or there is a very interested organization who would very much like to do something about the fact that he left them.
fact that the daughter's the one paying for the extraction, and suggests that she's, I don't know, somehow trying to escape from whatever situation she's been put in. Secret arcologies.
Yeah,
We're missing
like,
pieces.
speaking of that out of character, I didn't realize she was the client. That just went right over my head.
Doesn't say it right in the dossier?
It says, where is it?
Okay.
Yeah, she contacted Redacted via Redacted, offering Redacted in return for extraction.
You see, that's what happens whenever Redacted gets redacted. My brain goes, fuck you.
If it's any consolation in Grimith, I didn't know either. I'm just like, okay.
Well, in that case, it's definitely something that I ended up missing. In that case, yeah, it stands to reason that, you know, her father still worked for Seder Krupp, and, you know, she obviously wants to escape from that, and there's, you know, stands to be good reason. She wants to, you know, maybe work for another mega corporation or not be limited like that, especially if she's so intelligent.
One thing I'd want to point out is that sentence could also be she contacted someone else, and then our whatever blank agents intercepted internal talks at whatever, indicating something. All the names are blank, so it's a little hard to keep track of. That's
Yeah, this
probably
is fair.
intentional.
Given the fact that there's another runner team going after her, we could be the people trying to interrupt the people that she hired.
That's true, which in that case, it's either we're executing a run against a Seder Krupp asset, or we're running for Seder Krupp, which...
Or we're executing a run against a Seder Krupp asset against someone else trying to execute a run against a Seder Krupp asset.
You'll have to forgive me whenever dragons get involved. I get a little antsy.
Yeah, I understand that. Still.
20,000 each is 20,000 each.
Yeah, but if her dad's a corp mage, that means we've got to keep an eye on the whole situation a lot more so than before.
Definitely good information to have. If he's one of those wage mages, and, you know, he actually ends up transmitting, you know, like some subtle cracking as, you know, he stretches and his bones shift into place. I should be able to do something about him.
If you say so, I mean, I know that corp assets tend to have all the best toys, not sure if that applies to magic too.
I don't suppose, well, we don't have any information about that TikTok, and it would be impossible for us to, I don't know, maybe we could, this is just a pipe dream, get her to go with us if she actually mistakes us for another Shadowrunning group. It's not like she would know who we were anyway, since she would have hired someone else to get the details for that.
It's definitely fair. I mean, worst case scenario, we fail to give the correct countersign and have to take her by force. Which is, as it stands now, Plan A anyway. I wish I knew how long they were staying in Fun City.
Well, I'm not speaking as an expert on the subject, but if they have a reservation at this hotel, wouldn't the hotel also maybe know how long they're staying? I mean,
Yeah,
Or
they
what-
probably have a listed reservation length, but to get customer records like that, we'd have to hack them.
It's not the TikTok team that will have the symbol. It's apparently the first team that's certainly prepared to extract her and presumably has some way to indicate themselves. As the Johnson said, we are but one team of 3.
You know what? With this much competition, I think it's more important that we get her first than get her best. We should be watching for other people surveilling the situation. I don't suppose any of you have noticed anyone.
That's a fair thing to ask, and Trusair hadn't thought of that. And, a blink and shake his head to himself at being thick-headed, and I suppose he's going to go through the process of observing the sort of like the block areas in a detail, not looking exactly for like law enforcement, but for people who are actually looking at the hotel point where Karina Kohler is going to be staying with her family.
Yeah, Coyote will do the same.
Well, Coyote already made a perception roll, and looking back over that footage, there doesn't seem to be, at least outside, anyone looking around or seeming obvious. If there is someone, they're well hidden.
All right, I'll let everyone else know that. So I can't see anything outside, and he'll pass along the footage in an attachment if anyone cares to open it and look at it.
Trusair is actually going to shift to astral perception now, Sean. This might be like an active place with some auras from like passerbys, but even without a sensing, he can still identify like spirits. And just like that, maybe someone's keeping an eye on this place astrally.
Well, a sensing is the catch-all for astral perception, so go ahead and roll that.
Go ahead and make that then. It's going to be 4 hits. He's doing that too. He's also looking, these places look like they have minimal security, especially the, even the hotel where the extraction is going to be taking place. He wants to make sure that there's, as both Jordan and I apparently get disconnected because I singed so awesomely. I know, like wards, some that might trip the focus, or maybe there's spirits actually keeping an eye on the building, or there's an astrally, projecting mage around there who's spying as well, stuff like that.
Well, you don't actually see many people in the streets. Looking around, no one that's astrally, that's dual-natured or magician or anything like that out here. In terms of looking for wards, nothing on this entire block.
Trusair will shift back to his perception and normal perception and say, I don't see anything astrally active here. No spirits, wards, no mages keeping track in. Given such minimal security, I think I'll actually take a dip in there myself. I'm gonna need to keep myself in your van, though, Coyote. As it turns out, it would be rather rude for my unconscious body to slump over here on the road.
Sounds good.
that, Truesayer will head into Coyote's van and sit himself down, and he is going to astrally project himself. Creating an astral form, which I don't actually have a token for. I know there's a state for that I'm astrally projecting. There we go. Astral projection powers. Sweet. Alright. A fucking wizard. And given the lack of limitations and the fact that there doesn't seem to be any wards, what I'm actually going to do and move so fast is to... let's see here. I can move in any direction. I can dip in places. I guess I actually want to go into the hotel building itself and take a look around, see what security or people there are in there. Maybe there might have been like inroads made for where this family would be staying. You know, maybe the security's internal rather than external. Maybe there's a team already in place to extract her. You know, shit like that. That's what Truesayer's interested in doing.
Well, go ahead and give me one more sensing roll.
I can do just that. That's going to be 3 hits.
And it's probably going to disconnect you again.
Broadcast the 3 hits?
Okay. I don't see it.
God damn it.
Wait, there it is.
Oh.
Woohoo! Spring break.
Is the koala on this map?
I moved it to another map. It was there. It's I'm changing the map real quick. Go ahead and tell me when that loads.
You mean the hotel map?
Yeah. Go ahead. Grimith, go ahead, tell me when that loads for you.
Alright, I'm fully loaded, sir.
Okay.
I got disconnected.
I did as well.
This is certainly an interesting thing.
I'm gonna have to figure something out. I don't know what's causing this.
You want me to add my astrally perceiving token onto the map? Oh, you already did it. Okay.
Yeah. You've got a... You've got a good look at most of the people. The, one thing you do notice, and it's something you've probably noticed before, but it's worth mentioning again, is every time you see someone working for Horizon, someone that's working for any subsidy, any real subsidiary of them, or things like that, their auras always look genuinely, solidly happy. It's a little bit unnerving. That would be these people up here. Everyone else seems to just be waiting around sort of the lobby. From what you can see with the shadows, it doesn't look like there's anything to do here. You can see the shapes of what you presume are elevators. They got little cracks in them. Over here and over here. You see one mage catches your eye right here. A relatively young-looking elf girl, talking with a techie-looking orc. Them being on the physical plane and you being on the astral, you can't actually hear what they're saying. You can get sort of vague ideas from Bleed Over.
Like their emotional stuff and what have you.
Right, but word for word, you cannot hear. They both look relatively happy. Only worth noting because she's a mage, and well, I mean that's always something to watch for. no one else looks important, mostly bored. The guy over here actually looks really nervous, like genuinely nervous, and he does look to be a little bit pacey. Although he's from guessing from his aura, he seems to be hiding it.
In that case, Trusair, do I need to make, like, separate sensing checks for each of these individual... I suppose I would, like, determine, like, if, say, for example, like, one of the, like, the orc male is loaded up with spurs or some shit, Trusair would want to know that. Because that would be or, like, dermal plating, stuff like that.
No, you don't make a separate one. Oh, well, you can... normally, but for this I'll just be using your one, okay. That 1-3. Right. The orc male has some headwear, but comlink, data jack, things like that. Doesn't look to have any weapons on him. Not even cyber limbs. The elf.
Sensing of 3 in that case, I'd be able to detect whether her essence and magic are higher, lower, or equal to mine, and whether, her force, like if she has any foci, whether those would be higher, lower, or equal to mine.
She has no foci. What's your magic? And your essence is 6. Her essence is lower than you. She has, okay. Her left eye is cybernetic.
Rating is 5.
Your magic rating is 5, so she has less magic than you.
In that case, then it would be to, of course, the individual over here, is he cybered? At least any that I can detect. Which, covers alpha, where, and below.
Yes, he has a... left arm cybernetic. I don't know if you're supposed if it's supposed to include what level I'd assume that it probably would include what level. So his left cyber arm is alphaware and her cyber eye is alphaware.
Yes, it would. I guess you could judge that maybe due to, like, the sort of dark discolorations that might be in a particular location on aura, since they, of course, don't project, any sort of life on account of them being cyber limbs. Maybe, the better quality of the aura in those particular, like, shimming weak spots. I have no idea. I'm just making this shit up.
Well, they look sort of like tears in someone's aura. Like, you have a piece of paper floating in the wind, and each cyberware looks sort of like someone took a knife to it. Just sort of something missing. And I guess the ones that are harder to detect are just the tears less obvious. So yeah, you probably can guess about what level the cyberware is. So the elf male over here has alphaware cyber arm, and the elf girl has alphaware cyber eye, and the orc cyberware is standard.
Well, with that in mind, I don't think Trusair wants to check out every single fucking room, but he's gonna go through the ceiling and just check out the hallways and, the stairwells of the building. Maybe there's, like, security loitering around or, stuff like that. Not that he would exactly know by the coloration of the aura, but he could always sense any aura, and, if they're loaded out with, some form of heavy-duty cyberware, that'd be like a bodyguard type person. So that's what he'll do.
Well, you get to see a general layout. There are guards. They don't look to be cybered up. A couple of them have a small thing here or there, like a couple of them have data jacks. One guy has a comm link, but it just looks like stuff they got with their own money on their off time that they wanted.
Well, with that then, and that being taken care of, a Trusair will return to his body, ending the astral projection, and shaking it off, activate the comm link to transmit to his fellows. Like, taking a look in, there's some minor security forces, guards posted, nothing too serious or severe, no one heavily cybered. There were 3 individuals of interest in the lobby, which they had some alphaware. One of them appeared to be nervous, and 2 others, one of them being a mage, seemed to be chatting with one another. I couldn't tell about what. Of course, I have the spooky horizon, happy people. It's... Trusair visibly shrugs. In the back of Kaiser's van. Difficult to say. No heavy security waiting for us here, though, not yet, but there might be implements of a team already in place, or they could just be people going about their lives.
Looks like Grimith disappeared from the map.
Good to keep an eye on them regardless.
Right. I'll send my flash by in there.
I can't remove my astrally perception state that I put on the overworld, and it's giving me that the token name or ID of lib SR4 is unknown.
Yeah, that just means that it's not on the map.
Okay. I assumed there was a copy of it on each map.
No, apparently it doesn't like that. As far as I could tell, it seemed to freak out. And I didn't know, it seemed like I have to move it around with each map. The instructions were a little bit vague on that.